Hello everybody, Hellcracks here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere, episode, 306 I think it is. Alright, today we're going to be talking about that slow-moving 80-ton mech, the Grand Crusader. Yes, 80 tons, it's a 350, has Indo steel, XL engines, with 10 double heat sinks that come on the engine, and it has 247 points of armor maxed out, which is a good thing because with XLs its life expectancy from my experience has been very short. It's one of those Comstar / Word of Blake mechs that hey, let's just throw it out there and build it and they shall come. Yes. Now, interesting weapons loadout. We have an anti-missile system in the head for taking out missiles that are coming its way, which does help some. It has 2 tons of ammunition for the anti-missile system in the center torso. Hey, who doesn't like ammo in the center torso, right? We have a large pulse laser in the right arm, large pulse laser in the left arm, which about the same range as a medium laser. And then we have a LRM-20 in the right torso with 3 tons of ammunition. And in the left torso, we have an LRM-20 with 3 tons of ammunition. And both of those come with Artemis fire control attached to them. Then we have a medium pulse laser in the right arm and a medium pulse laser in the left arm. All right. So, if you decide to get in close knife fighting range, it does have a couple large pulse lasers and a couple medium pulse lasers. And if it's moving at any speed and it fires those pulse lasers, yeah, it's now going to be a 2-3 moving mech. That's from what I've seen. And guess what happens to a very slow moving mech when it's out there fighting around? It dies. It's been my experience. Well, the number of times I've seen a Grand Crusader on the table, usually at conventions like Gen Con, seen it I think at Origins too, when we first started seeing the word Blake pop up. It was like one of the guys on our team, because we were playing WOBs at the time, and somebody had one and they marched it up there and they fired at it, got a crit, and just blew it to pieces because it has no case. It has XL engines, so it's like you hit the ammo and it just went up like a firecracker. It was done. And I was like, okay, was that just a lucky hit? And then after seeing another game where there was another one, same thing happened. Get it through the torso, get a crit, it hits the ammo. Because you got 3 crits for, in a torso, you got 3 crits for the XLs, you got 3 crits for ammo. I think there's 4 for the LRM-20 that's in that torso. Let me double check. I think it's 4. Yeah, so pretty much as soon as you have a chance, you got basically almost like a 1 in 3 chance of hitting ammo. And every time it's just like Murphy's Law says, hey, let's just blow it to pieces. So the life expectancy of one of these things is pretty short if you get it close. Because people will say, oh, that's an XL engine mech. We'll target it, take it out, and usually it gets blown to bits when it hits the ammo. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I've seen what happens to a Grand Crusader. Now, that being said, all right, if you have one and you're playing with it, do not ever get close with it. It is a slow-moving fire support system. You sit back with the 2 LRM-20s, you can go 18 turns, firing every turn with those LRMs. And with the Artemis fire control system, you got a +2. Hey, that's a decent thing. So you're at least going to do some damage with them. So don't get close with them. Now, later in the game, when things are pretty much shot up, you could move this thing, start trudging along at slow pace at being a 3.5. You can move it up there to get in range with the large pulse lasers if you want to, but you're going to be doing more damage probably with the LRM-20s, because typically you're going to be doing 12 damage with the LRM versus 10 or 9 with the large pulse laser. So you're better off just shooting the LRM-20s instead. Don't even bother getting close. At least that's my experience with watching the mech in the game. Now, if you did get in close and you fired, let's just say you did fire everything that you had and you walked, that would be 22, 20, let's see, 20, 32, 40. Yeah. Yep, you're 40, probably 41 up on the heat scale, or 21 up on the heat scale. Let me just double check. Not that I ever get my mechs ever that high, but yeah, you got shut down. Ammo explosion on a 4+, and a shutdown on a 4+. So yeah, that's not good. It's like, don't fire everything, because your odds, and then you're going to be moving around as like a 1-2 moving vehicle, or not a vehicle, but a mech, and you can't even get a mod. And everybody's, hey, that mech does have 0 mod. He moved. Hey, let's just light you up again, if he even lives that long. Yeah, it's like most of my experiences when this mech gets into shorter to medium range, it's gone. It's toast. So don't do it. Don't get close with this. Keep away and just turn it. Find a hilltop someplace with some woods and just don't move. And enjoy the view. Yeah, that's my experience with seeing the Grand Crusader. Now, there are a couple different variants of the Grand Crusader. Now, there's the experimental version, the first one. The prototype, this one was a 4.6 moving, had a 320XL engine. It had the LRM-20s, obviously, and then it had an ER large laser and 4 medium lasers. So, in all reality, you could, let's see, that would be 12 plus 24. If you didn't move, you could do that, fire those 3 longer range weapons for a turn, and then next turn you'd only fire the LRMs. The next turn, so every other turn you could, if you had that version, you could fire the ER large laser. But, you know, it's got less weapons on. But that's really not an issue, considering that the 2 large pulse lasers and the 2 medium pulse lasers on the 01 version, yeah, they're typically are not going to get used anyway, so that's not a big issue. Now, the primary version does come up around 1750 when it comes to battle value, and I'm not sure, do I have the battle value of the, let me check here. Is it in here? Nope, don't have it. I just have the standard one with the LRM-5s. All right. Okay, then there's the 02 version. This one removes half a ton, which isn't really a big deal with this mech, considering that, how much tonnage are you? It's like a half ton. Yeah, it's only 7 points. So if you did that, you'd use up half. So what's 7? So that's not a big issue. But then you look at it, it removes half a ton, the medium pulse lasers, the anti-missile system, replaces it with 2 LRM-5s with Artemis on board. All right, this one comes in at 1,700 battle value, so it's about 50 less, 56 less. And now it's totally it's almost longbowish kind of vibe going on with that thing. And now you could take the, double check here, how many tons of ammo does it come with those? 1. Okay, so we got 1 ton of ammo. So yeah, you're going to get 12 turns with the LRM-5. So in some ways, you could look at it and say, hey, do I want to load up a ton of smoke ammunition with it? Or better yet, do you want, of your 6 tons of ammo that you have with the LRM-20s, maybe put one of them as smoke, go that route, even with the primary version. That way, if you want to lay down a couple smoke barrages if you need to, and give yourself some cover and concealment to get out of dodge type of thing slowly as you walk away. Yeah, that's an option. So either or, you can go that route. But it's one of those mechs that you, like I said, you park it on a hill someplace in some heavy woods and don't move. Just enjoy the view. And then there's the O2B version, the Grand Crusader. This one is still a 4.6 mover. Similar, but it replaces the large pulse laser with an ER large lasers instead. So you're saving some tonnage there. So there's that. Okay, and then we have the O3 version. This one is a upgrade of the Grand Crusader, meant to be more aligned and with the modern hardware that they have with the WOBs. And this one has the Indo Steel, carries the 320 light fusion engine, which is a good deal. It's like I'd rather have a light fusion engine over an XL any day. At least you're getting some savings in tonnage with the light fusion engine. Carries triple strength armor. Alrighty. So we see where this one's going. So it does give a slight boost in speed when you heat that sucker up. And if you get in close to, if you're a fool, yeah, you're looking at a major 30, if you get that thing hit, a 32-point kick. Oh yeah, you're kicking a leg off as most mechs. All right, so, and then it has 4 jump jets. Okay, so increasing its mobility, so it's a 4.64. And it carries 15 tons of armor, which is pretty much, and it has 2 ER large lasers, as it's backed up a couple LRM-15s. So you had to downgrade the 20s to 15s, and you got rid of those pulse lasers, which are kind of worthless to begin with. And now you have some direct fire weapons and some indirect fire weapons, and it has 3 ER medium lasers, a streak system, and a improved C3 computer. This comes in around almost 2,300 battle value, though. So there's a cost to go with that. You got more mobility. You have a boost of speed if you heat it up, and don't get close to this thing. Yeah, it's one of those mechs when you see a mech with triple strength, and especially don't want to see one with a hatchet. But the only problem is with the is trying to find that sweet spot when it comes to maintaining it heat 9. So you might have been better off with a couple of those ER medium lasers to flip them to small lasers, or maybe something of that nature, so you can tweak your heat scale a little bit. That might have been a better value, bang for your buck, but there is what it is. And I don't remember if they talk about heat sinks. No, it doesn't say anything about heat sinks. So I'm not sure exactly how many heat sinks. I don't have a write-up on this one. Okay, then we have the Grand Crusader 2. All right, I've seen this one out before. This one is a remodeled version of the mech. Grand Crusader 2 armor profiles radically changes its appearance. Built using the same engine, triple strength armor. So basically, you have it's the O3 but upgraded. This one carries a light Gauss rifle. All right, so for some direct fire weapon systems, which takes care of some of your heat problems. And then you have 2 ER medium lasers, and then you have a Streak 6 launcher, which is fine with me. You have this improved C3 system. And then it has Indo Steel, all right, and case. Finally, we've got a mech that has case on board. All right, so that is pretty much, then it comes in around 2,300 battle value. Now, it's been upgraded to some extent. Then they also talk about the Grand Crusader Omni. Originally, they wanted to have it as an Omni mech. but they couldn't get the system to work, so it was basically discontinued before they could even get it out of production or even into production when the jihad kicked loose. When they said, hey, let's go nuke everybody. But yeah, it's one of those mechs that I usually will steer clear of because it's just seeing how it usually gets obliterated on the battlefield so quickly because it's XL and no case and lots of ammo. Those kind of mechs just get toasted pretty quick. So yeah, that's it. Pretty much, it's a mech I steer clear of. But if you do have one in your force and you're forced to use one, keep it back. Unless you got one of the later versions that have more direct fire weapons that can get a little closer with a little bit of speed. Yeah, it's like it's a major detriment to not have any speed with the mech. And if you heat it up, in which the standard version will heat up really fast and slow down even more. So it's one of those mechs where just keep it back, keep it out of the way, and just drain down your LRMs. You can go pretty much all day with those things. So don't get close. All right, that's the Grand Crusader in a nutshell. All right, hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share it with friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Hellcrex out.